this Halloween, Chucky's back, but this time, there's more to fear.
Well, hello, Dolly.
Playmate of his own. Bride of Chucky, because this time, he's got
Hard out.
Bride of Chucky.
Barbie, eat your...
At the start of the story, we see a cop sneaking into a secret location, grabbing a bag and walking away with it. Actually, he had stolen the bag and planned to sell it to someone later to make a good amount of money. But as soon as he got into his car and sat down, he felt like someone was following him. Right then, we see someone quickly grab him by the neck and slit his throat. Turns out it was none other than Tiffany. Tiffany was actually the friend of the guy whose soul now... The knife was stuck inside and she hit that police officer because the bag had broken pieces of Chucky's body. Tiffany believed that her friend's soul was still trapped inside Chucky's body. She wanted to bring him back to this world with any face because she loved him so much. As soon as she got home, she started putting together every broken piece of that knife. She sewed those pieces up and attached parts from other dolls to make him whole again. But now, in this form, Chucky was it was looking dangerous. Tiffany was pretty happy though, because she had fixed Chucky. After that, she laid him down in a star circle and started doing some weird ritual, hoping his soul would come back and he'd get up. But even after all that, there was no movement. Then, after a while, another friend of Tiffany's showed up. When Tiffany looked back, Chucky wasn't in his spot anymore. She realized he was back. He was alive. And now, here he was with their other friend. He ties him up so he can't do anything, and now Chucky stands right in front of him. Just then, Tiffany's friend puts a pillow over his mouth, suffocates him, and he dies right there. Tiffany is really happy to see Chucky alive because Chucky has the spirit of the same friend she wanted to marry. She starts talking to Chucky and shows him a wedding ring, asking, "Do you remember this? It was found near your body." That means at the time when her friend had died and she found this wedding ring with him. Hearing this, the friend's soul trapped inside the grinder suddenly started laughing out loud. It said, "I was never going to marry you anyway." Hearing that, Tiffany's heart just shattered. Angry and confused, she didn't know what to do next. So, to cool down her anger, she locked the grinder in a cage. The scene then shifts to show a guy who had come to pick up a girl named Z for a party. Jessie was with him too. But the real story here was that Z actually liked JC. Everyone was about to leave when Z's uncle stopped them and said to Z, "I told you not to go with him." After saying that, he took Z home with him. Meanwhile, JC was really upset, so his friend advised him, "You both should just run away and get married since she likes you and you like her. What's wrong with that?" And then, it turns out that JC was Tiffany's neighbor. Then we see Emil and Tiffany brings a bride, a female doll, for Chucky after seeing him alone in the cage and puts her inside with him. After a while, she starts watching TV while taking a bath. Meanwhile, we see Chucky taking a ring off the bride doll's neck, cutting open the cage, and getting out. He gets really angry that Tiffany locked him up, and to get back at her, he heads to Tiffany's bathroom. When he sees that, Tiffany was in the water, so taking advantage of that, he took down the TV in front of her and threw it into her bathtub. Because of the electric shock in the water, Tiffany writhed in pain and died. Chucky didn't feel any remorse about it, and he even brought along that bright doll which used to be soulless, but now he wanted to put Tiffany's soul into it. Then, in a strange ritual with Tiffany's dead body, he transferred her soul into that bright doll. When the doll's body started feeling like Tiffany, she's already entered, so she gets really angry and starts to panic. That's when Chucky tells her, "Before getting mad, you should have listened to me, but now you have to do as I say, and if you still want our souls to go back into human bodies like before, you'll have to do exactly what I tell you." For that, they need to bring back the locket that was around the neck of the dead body when it died. That's the body whose soul is now in Chucky. Basically, they're talking about Tiffany's friend, but it turns out her dead body is pretty far away. They were buried. Now, since these people are small in size, they think they can't drive, so they needed someone to drive for them and drop them off there. While thinking all this, they got an idea and immediately called Jessie. She tells him, "I have 2 dolls at my house that you need to take to that place and drop off. and in return, I'll pay you thousands of dollars. Now, who wouldn't want that kind of money? So, Jesse agrees to do the job and goes to her house in the evening. Tiffany. He just puts the two of them in the van. To him, they seemed like dolls, basically lifeless things, and then he drives off. On the way, he goes to Z and says, I want to marry you, but since your family won't agree, why don't we just run away? He keeps insisting, and Z finally agrees. Now, Z goes inside to pack her things. Z's uncle had already seen all this happening and didn't want JC to get involved with their knives. He sneaks the drugs into Jesse's car so the police will catch him on the way. But he had no idea that Chucky and Tiffany were also in the car and could see everything. As they drive a bit further, just like Z's uncle planned, a police officer is waiting to stop their car and search it for the drugs. When the officer finds the drugs, he arrests both of them. Seeing this, Chucky and Tiffany get really angry. They keep messing up our plans again and again. So, the two of them decide that now this guy has to be taken out of the way, too. When the police officer was trying to contact Uncle Z, Chucky sneaks in and sets his car on fire. The car explodes loudly and the officer dies in a really brutal way. Then Z and JC take the van and leave the place. The whole trip was starting to feel really weird to them. Neither of them had any clue what was actually going on with them. Here, they were blaming each other, saying this all happened because of the other. Anyway, then we see them going to a church and finally getting married. In the car, Tiffany and Chucky are both listening to music. This makes Tiffany start remembering the day she wanted to marry him. Now, Z and JC are staying at a hotel. After a little while, a couple comes into their room and steals JC's purse. But Tiffany sees them doing it, and when the couple leaves the room, Tiffany goes there right away, and just then, she breaks the mirror on the roof. A piece of that glass falls on them so hard that they die right there. There was also a grinder nearby, and when he sees Tiffany beating them up so brutally, he gets impressed and says, "Now you're worthy of being my wife." With that, he takes out a wedding ring and puts it on her finger. Seeing this, tears of joy start streaming down Tiffany's face. Meanwhile, these guys were also staying at the hotel with Jesse and Jay. On the other side, Jay and Jesse were looking really scared, because they felt like everything happening was their fault. Then Jay calls one of her friends and asks what's going on with this whole situation. He tells them that actually the police are after both of them. As soon as morning came, the hotel owner found the dead bodies of the couple that Tiffany had killed the night before. Seeing this, everyone got really scared. Without wasting any time, Jay and JC quickly left the place. By now, their friend had also arrived and told them that neither of them was at fault. It just felt wrong, and now that you two are husband and wife, you need to trust each other. Right then, when he opened the box kept in the van, he found Z's uncle's body inside. After seeing that, he got suspicious too and pulled out his gun, aiming it at both of them. Shouting, he said, "Get out of the van now!" He was thinking that all the murders so far must have been done by those two together. Seeing this, Chucky and Tiffany also started moving and revealed themselves. Yeah. As soon as their friends saw him, they tried to run away from there. But right then, a truck hit him so hard that his body was ripped apart. Now, Chucky angrily said, "Just drive the van quietly." Chucky and Tiffany told them the whole story, and then stole another van to travel in. This new van even had a kitchen. Seeing this, Tiffany cooked some really good food for Chucky doll. But then a small argument broke out between them about who would wash the dishes after eating. Everyone had started arguing. Taking advantage of the chaos, Z comes in from the back door, locks Tiffany inside the microwave oven, and immediately throws Jesse's Chucky grinder out the window. But the Chucky shoots back at Jesse, causing his van to lose balance and crash. Luckily, he survived. Meanwhile, Tiffany, who got burned inside the microwave, comes out and attacks Z to get revenge. But Jesse quickly grabs Z and rushes them both outside. As soon as they step out, there's a loud explosion inside the van. But the gun... Getting straight to the point, Z ends up at the cemetery. Chucky needs a locket that's buried in the same grave as the dead body of that person. Meanwhile, JC arrives at the spot with Tiffany, handing her over to Chucky. But Chucky says he doesn't need her. Then he tries to attack Z with a knife, but the knife ends up hitting JC instead. After that, Chucky ties both of them up. Since Chucky has now got his locket, He starts performing the ritual to transfer his soul. But when Tiffany sees how much love Jade and Jesse have, she completely changes. Now she doesn't want to kill them or separate them anymore. Instead, she goes up to Chucky and stabs him in the back with a knife. She starts saying, "What's the point of living now? We don't even have the right to live." This sparks a fierce fight between the two. During the fight, Chucky stabs Tiffany with the knife, killing her. Just then, Jesse manages to break free and hits Chucky hard. The guy who got hit ended up falling right into the same grave where his human body was already lying. Then a police officer shows up and they start shooting a lot at the mill. Before dying, Chucky says he'll definitely come back. The police officer tells Z and JC that they can go home now because they're still kids, and it's not safe for them to stay here. But when they went to Tiffany, they saw her baby lying there. The baby looked really creepy and suddenly attacked the police officer. It just takes you away. And with that, this story ends right here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more movie explanation videos like this. Thanks for watching.